Hello, Fightful Faithful. Welcome to the post-show review thing for NXT Worlds Collide. There's no time. I'm not going to do the bit where I stop talking.
No, this is the NXT Worlds Collide post-show. Get in your super chats, get in your humper chats, leave a thumbs up. We've got sponsors. Go.
That wasn't even the bit, Kate. I'm just trying to tell everybody that we're going to be talking. We're talking very fast. We're trying to get everything here so we can get to 0 hour, because we also have to watch everything that happens in All Out, so we can talk about that on Fightful Select later. Remember, Fightful Select later. The post show for All Out is the Fightful Select one. You don't want to do the one that's on this channel because that's Sean Ross Sapp's one. You want to go to the good one, which is ours, which is on Fightful Select.
I didn't even know there was one on the main channel. Like, that's how inconsequential it is.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, it's good.
Who cares?
No, so
Fightful Select, baby.
Here we go. Matthew Plus is trying to ruin our day, saying, I'm just sending super chats so you can't finish. He's saying, hold on. He's saying, owned, you friggin' dorks. And also he says, daylight to you is what Mandy is to women's wrestling, which is very harsh. So let's get into this, Kate, very quickly. Hold on. I have a timer here. Mm-hmm. Our opening remarks. Hold on. Our opening, hold on. Our opening remarks are going to be 2 minutes long, and start. So here we go. I do this. So I thought that this show was very good, except for the fact that almost every match was a foregone conclusion. And when you have every match be a foregone conclusion and pretty much nothing go against the grain except for one match that was overbooked to hell in a way that nobody cared about anything that happened, then you kind of like shoot yourself in the foot through the entire show. And even the matches are good, we all kind of knew what was going to happen. And that's not great. Go.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I get 90 seconds. So I will just say I have no idea how HBK got promoted if he is the one booking this crap, because it's terrible. And the unfortunate part is it got really in the way of some really great in-ring that I thought we saw tonight. I really enjoyed what I saw between the ropes. This reminded me very much of WrestleMania. What was the name of that pay-per-view? See, when we have to go quick, I can't even think. Stand and Deliver. It reminded me of Stand and Deliver, where some of the in-ring was so absolutely fantastic, but the booking was either very obvious or bad, or in some cases both, which is a little bit frustrating. So I am bummed that it was handicapped. And I also just want to point out that of all of the talent that we saw this entire weekend for WWE, the only NXT talent, or the only UK talent that went over, is Pretty Deadly. And they've been on the NXT proper brand for a while now. So it was kind of like, even in a lot of the situations, I felt like the UK talent should have lost. It's still a bummer that they build out this whole NXT and WWE main roster UK presentation, and you don't really give anybody the satisfaction in their hometown of going over. 15 seconds.
You gotta fill time, Kate. You gotta fill
time. Oh my gosh, I'll just do this. I'll take out my porn accountant glasses. But I am most excited to talk about Tyler Bate and Bron Breakker, because that match was really, really good in the ring, and Breakker's best since the Dolph Ziggler feud.
You beat the clock. Okay. Yes. Now we can talk about the overall. Nerd Guru says,
Crown super chat off, please.
I know. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Oops. I got it.
Nerd Guru says this show was like just okay and annoying. Too many dumb finishes. Don't like the burial of NXT UK. And I know she didn't pin Meiko, but I count this as the night that wrestling died. Night that wrestling died. Number 5. Mandy is just hot. That's it. Nothing else. Well, we'll talk more about that when we get to that point. But yes, NXT UK is now becoming NXT Europe. Let's bring over everybody from NXT UK and have them all lose, so nobody gives a shit about NXT Europe when it happens later. It's a bad idea. But here we go.
And like a bummer, because I felt like last week they actually built out a good feeling brand supremacy idea, and then it just didn't end up mattering. It didn't really follow through.
Mm-hmm. Rob Reed is saying Alex is doing his best Excalibur impression. Just when I
speak all out what we see.
Matthew Plus is on a soccer rant trying to ruin everything. Luis, Tammy forgot how to play football this summer. He literally can't accept a simple pass in midfield. And Southgate was at today's game, which was his worst. There you go. You spent $6 for me to say something for 12 seconds. Okay, here we go.
So
I'm gonna give it the full 5.
Full 5
for Melo versus Ricochet, because this was everything we wanted it to be. I think.
Okay, is it 5 minutes between the two of us?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect.
I'll flip it to you at some point.
Okay.
We knew Ricochet wasn't winning this, right?
Yes.
Unless Ricochet was getting brought down to NXT for a run, which I guess is possible, except for look what they've done with Apollo Cruz's run in NXT, which is literally nothing. So I used to want everybody to go down to NXT for a while. Send Mustafa Ali down there. How about Cedric Alexander? They never got to spend any time in NXT. They could do wonders down there. Now I say, no, you're better up on the main roster. That's something I never could have possibly said out loud a few months ago, but it's true now. So I don't want Ricochet on the main roster on NXT. I thought the match was amazing. It proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that Melo is ready now. He needs no more seasoning. You put him on the main roster and you figure out what to do with him up there. He's excellent. This match had all the back and forth we wanted with crazy spots and sequences. There was a amazing double springboard crossbody across the ring until they collided in the middle of the ring. But I believe this. If the other man wasn't there, they would have springboarded out the other side of the ring. That's the velocity they were going with and the distance they were covering. It was crazy. I thought this was all great, except if you're going to have a fantastic, proves that Carmelo Hayes has got smarts as well as athleticism finish, which is Ricochet goes for a shooting star press and lands on his feet, but wobbles enough that you reach up and grab him and put him in the small package, which you can't kick out of to win. If you're going to do that with Carmelo, then there's no need to have Trick Williams get involved and try to hit Ricochet with the belt anyway. What, to prove Carmelo is a heel? We know he's a heel. He cuts promos as a heel. He doesn't have to have his little valet at ringside try to cheat to help him win. Just have him do this without all the extraneous things, and would have been a lot better and proved a lot more about what Carmelo is able to do on his own. And I throw it to the rest of you.
This match was fantastic. This was the right choice to have it open the show. Thank you for making my time extremely evident. It was the right match to open the show for the same reasons I feel like a lot of times they'll open like AEW Rampage with a really fun, and Dynamite actually, with like high energy tag matches. To kick off a show like that in a weekend that's so oversaturated and with wrestling, I thought was really, really smart. Like have that high energy opener right up front. I thought that was a really good call. This match was exactly what I wanted it to be. It didn't really need to have a build. They took enough jabs at each other on the mic to get me invested in this. And in ring, it was absolutely fantastic. A really good combination of, like you had kind of alluded to, like when you're that athletic, you can do some really cool stuff, but it was athletic that made sense. And when they actually bumped each other, holy crap, Ricochet was selling his ass off. And I don't even know if he was selling or they were just hitting each other that hard in those moves, but he was selling so hard. I thought this was fantastic. I agree with you about Carmelo. This is a weird time for main roster call-up, so I don't know if it'll wait till Survivor Series season. It could be fun if they wanted to do like a newly called up guys versus main roster guys as a brand supremacy angle instead of SmackDown versus Raw all the time. Like an NXT 5 people that just got called up thing could be really, really fun. So that could be an absolute blast. And this was great. Carmelo, Bron is ready. I think Alba Fire is ready, and I think you're going to see those call-ups come at some point. I knew obviously Ricochet wasn't going to win. I do hope they get Apollo Crews on some sort of track, and I'm hoping now that Triple H at least has his thumb in the pie that they will, because he should be in a title picture or at least having matches that feel important like this. So, I mean, do you want any last takes?
I'll use the last 30 seconds to say that we can't get Apollo Crews in anything in NXT because he's got a scratched cornea from the time that Grayson Waller raked his eyes in their match last week. He's got a scratched cornea, so he's going to be out forever. And in a kayfabe way, it's a terrible idea, but they're doing it anyway. Yes. So Javier Martinez says, I don't care. Call up Melo, Bate, and Bron now.
Well, if they were going to do that, we would have gotten different booking tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is true. That's the problem. Matthew Plus says, Bill Roma's Matic has been an early disappointment. And Bob and Luis says, well, yeah, Matic is as old as Bobby Fish. So that was expected.
Luis, don't feed the bears.
There you go. Maggie K says, here's some money so I can occupy my mind with something good as opposed to me smashing my runny nose into the wall. Tyler Bate won in my heart. Tyler Bate won in everybody's heart. I mean, that guy is super special. And I don't know what the ceiling is for that guy outside of Europe, considering how they book little boys. Even if they're big, strong boys, he's still a little boy in their eyes. And Jason PS3 says the NXT UK talent outperformed the NXT 2.0 talent. And, well, that was to be expected. They're a lot better. And
they are bad.
And then so then hold on, I'm giving more time to this because we have things to talk about with this. So I'm giving 7 minutes to this match. And as Alpha Bill says, don't cut the red wire. Whatever you do, don't cut the red wire. Cut the blue wire first, then the green. Whatever you do not cut the red wire. Okay, so we see Roddy Strong, who's been run over by a car, beaten to death. Like, I don't know what happened to him. Was he attacked by wild dogs?
He walked through the parking lot.
His shirt was torn. Well, we know, like we all in the game of Clue in NXT, we always know where it happened. In the parking lot with the candlestick. Like, we all know, like, whatever happened.
But even in the UK, the UK, the parking lot, it's just cursed.
I mean, they weren't in the UK right now.
Oh, this was earlier.
This is Orlando. They weren't doing the show in the UK. The show was in Orlando.
Duh, it was just World's Class. I'm sorry, it's been a very long 24 hours. Getting longer.
So here's the deal. Oh, I'm adding a minute because we went out. Okay, we go. So listen. I think that so it looked like he may have been attacked by a pack of wild dogs. His shirt was ripped. And then we see Ivy Nile is going to the hospital with Roddy, who is in stable condition but still unconscious. So he cannot tell us what happened. We see a backstage thing with the creeds talking about what we got to do. So we go out there, we do what we do, we win. And then Damon Kemp says, very oddly, because Damon Kemp doesn't say a lot of things, he goes, "It's all right. Roddy Strong doesn't matter tonight. All that matters is we go out and win." But he says it in a very Damon Kemp stiff kind of, Roddy Strong doesn't matter tonight. Tonight, all that matters is the Creed Diamond Mine goes out and wins. I'm like, oh, thank you for instructing me who beat up Roddy Strong. Monologue awkwardly delivered by Damon Kemp. Like, that was so weird. If they didn't have him say that, I think the turn would have been way more unexpected. But the whole time I was just waiting for Damon Kemp to cost the Creeds. Now, when they announced this match, I was like, can we at least get Double Vest in the Beach eliminated first? And thank God somebody listened to me. And so, yes, they were eliminated first by Gallus. When the Beach slipped and fell off the top rope and landed on his forehead, and then got a double team move hit to him. And then, so he was out, and that's good. And then Gallus went out second with the Creeds when Julius Creed hit the unnecessary clothesline on Wolfgang. And the Gallus was very, very upset by this. They were very upset. They were so upset, they went out and picked a fight with Double Vest in the Beach. We already saw Horse Girl versus Lash Legend. That was a thing that happened earlier as well. But it comes down to the Creeds and Pretty Deadly. And Julius Creed is not of this earth.
No,
he did a stalling suplex, sat down on his ass while holding a stalling suplex, and then stood back up and finished the stalling suplex. He's not of this earth. And if they can teach him how to cut a promo or pair him with Paul Heyman, he's the new young Brock Lesnar. This guy is like young Brock Lesnar, like 2002 Brock Lesnar, did stuff athletically and strength-wise that I had never seen before. The only guy who comes close to like that amount of like, holy shit, is this guy an alien? Stuff that Brock used to do is this guy. He's crazy. Amazing. But Damon Kemp runs into the ring and spears brown-haired Yes Boy, who had come into the ring with a chair when the ref was down on the outside. And he spears brown-haired Yes Boy just so he can take the chair that brown-haired Yes Boy dropped and hit Julius Creed in the back with it while the ref wasn't there, so that the Yes Boys can get the championships. And they're the only UK talent on the entire show, spoiler alert, that won today, but that doesn't count because they've been in the States for 6 months. They weren't actually part of NXT UK anymore, and that's ridiculous. I talked too long, so I'm going to add a full minute.
No, that's okay. I can do this in 2 minutes.
No, it's all right. There you go.
Julius Creed is a star. That's the takeaway. If the ending sequence wasn't ruined by Damon Kemp, it would have actually been fantastic. Like, that ending sequence was so cool. He's unbelievably athletic. He's grown so much in ring from a fluidity standpoint and an in-ring storytelling perspective as well. Not to mention he could do crazy shit like Alex already called out. So I think Pretty Deadly is a good choice to hold them. If the Creeds aren't going up to the main roster, I think this was stupid, because if they think that Damon Kemp can stand on his own, they are wrong. He's very mediocre in the ring. He's new, so it's not even his fault, but he's very green in the ring, and he can't cut a promo to save his life. So if this turn is supposed to facilitate him leaving Diamond Mine and there's nobody else there to pick him up, this is going to be a disaster. If it's to get the Creeds to the main roster, that would be really fun, because I feel like that tag team division is growing. I think it would be ridiculous amounts of fun to have them with like a Chad Gable or something, because Gable can speak, right? Like he's great at this. So I think that can be super fun. This was overbooked trash. It was so stupid. We knew last week, I think, because Damon Kemp was destroying the evidence about who, like, we knew this was coming. It just was so unnecessary. And for some reason, like, these spots bug me even more in like 6-man, 8-man, whatever's. Like, it's like, I think because there's already so much going on that you're like, let me add to it. It's just such an annoying thing. And I also don't know why, if you're Pretty Deadly, you wouldn't be like angling to have everybody banned from ringside. So this is the one UK talent that went over. But to your point, they've been here for a really long time already. They're really good though, and so I don't mind them holding the belts. I mind the Creeds dropping the belts a little bit, but I'm glad it wasn't the Redneck Boys. I think that would have been by far the worst case scenario. And it is because they have history in both the US and the UK, like them being the ones to hold the United title is something that I think is really good. So kudos to them, because they're a really good tag team. But Diamond Mine was one of my favorite things, and now is one of my, like, they just need to break them up already, because this isn't good things. But Damon Kemp can't stand on his own, and I don't see him being paired with Pretty Deadly, so I don't know what comes out of this. And it disrupted a really good flow of wrestling too.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like he's paired with Pretty Deadly since he speared brown-haired Yes Boy in order to get the chair. Wouldn't brown-haired Yes Boy just give him the chair to use? I was weird. Yeah, and Damon Kemp can't stay. They're not feuding with Damon Kemp by himself. Somebody put him up to that.
Yeah.
More soccer talk. Matthew Plus says, "Oh damn, Luis, that's cold and old." Matic will have to do until Wijnaldum gets healthy, whoever that is. Bill, we do injuries and we need time to gel. I don't know what the hell any of this means. Maggie K says, just to realize this is the first time I'm able to watch SourGraps live, so here's more money. Oh, thank you, Maggie.
Oh,
we love you. We love Maggie.
Maggie rules. Maggie, you don't have to send in super chats. We'll put your regular chats in, because you're the best and you break every rule in the world.
MJ Johnson says 2 off-topic things. Kate is gorgeous as always, and 2, Alex, you are the reason why I have Fightful Select best $5 ever. Thank you.
You don't think Alex is gorgeous and hot and sexy? That's insulting.
No, it's seriously fine. Jimmy Pringle says, SGSers, hear my roar. Roar. Happy WrestleTastic weekend. It's a 3-day weekend. You cut whatever wire your little heart desires.
Oh, well, I don't want to
my friends. Yes, and there we go. Here we go. So we have a couple of schism talks. Like the dyad is giving out smiley face buttons. I don't know why, but then Grayson Waller talks shit about him, and that's how we find out that he raped his cornea. And also, Grayson Waller cuts a promo on his mom, who says he's brought shame upon the Waller name. Which, I mean, like, his mom's right, but yeah, I don't know what the hell it's supposed to do. And just then MJF wants to fucking fine AF.
That's appropriate.
I am fine as a frog. And then, so we got Tony D'Angelo talking to Stacks. Thank you for this cappuccino and biscotti, but it's a good thing that I fired Legato because get him out of here. Like, hey, but listen, boss, you said yourself Electra was doing great down at the docks. I'm like, hey, whatever, she can go on with that. I don't need him. Hey, Cameron Grimes, would you like to be a part of my stable? Cameron Grimes, because you look, you would fit in perfectly here. Have a biscotti and make me an offer. And then Cameron Grimes walks away. So Cameron Grimes versus Joe Gacy or versus Tony D'Angelo. I know which one I'm gonna pick, but that was a weird deal, right?
Yeah, I also hate that Tony D did that because everything they've been fighting for the past 6 months, he was just kind of like, whatever.
It's fine.
Well, the whole beauty of that feud just got so undone in one promo, so that was a bummer. But I could also buy the idea that he was covering up because Legato just hit the bricks, right? So maybe he was just saying it was his decision. I can kind of buy into that, but this was weird.
Van Twinblade says, Alex, what class would Kate be in D&D Pathfinder? I don't know. Paladin? I have no idea what the hell that. What classes are there? Woodshop. That's the class she would be. I don't know. But Mackie K raises a good point. Who took the button? Button. Who's got the button? During the Waller interview in the background, some little figure wearing a red hoodie and had a backpack walked in the background, took a button and left. I don't know what it was.
I don't know. Is it Bobby Fish? Is he coming to save Roderick Strong?
That character was a little taller than Bobby Fish, so probably not. Matthew Plus says the only wire I'm cutting is my sub to select.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. You love us. And you'll never leave. So here we go.
I'm hot. No, you're not.
Remedial communications class is what Matthew Plus says.
At least be like, my internet is great class. I'm a great communicator.
Mandy Rose defeated Meiko Satomura and Blair Davenport. We all knew Blair Davenport was added to this match so that Mandy Rose could pin her, thus saving Meiko Satomura and not giving her the dishonor, the great dishonor. Since the days of the samurai would there have been a greater dishonor to a Japanese warrior than taking a pin from Mandy Rose. So Meiko Satomura said no, because if you make me do that, I'm going to have to commit seppuku. So I don't want to do that. So you're going to have to bring in Blair Davenport to take the pin. Here's what I have to say to Wade Barrett. Dude, she's not going to fuck you. You can stop with the over weird praising stuff of Mandy Rose. It's not. I don't think it doesn't do anything. It's weird. Just weird. It's just too much. She's fine. Mandy Rose is fine. I don't mean she's fine. I mean she's fine. She's a 5.5 out of 10 wrestler. Fine. That's fine. And if you want to say that because she's so hot, it gives her a 2-point bump, fine. She's a 7.5 out of 10 wrestler. Whatever. Does
Alex,
she deserve to have this long of a reign?
He also on commentary had the nerve to say nobody talks about her in-ring ability. And I was like, it's your job to talk about her in-ring ability, doofus.
Yeah,
I was like, how dare you say that when you're the one perpetuating the thirsting? Like, that was so lame of him. I don't know why he went out of his way to say that, but this match, I'll just, since I'm talking, I'll take over the flow
you take over.
There were parts of it that I didn't hate. There was like a superplex spot that Mandy Rose pulled off on the ropes that I thought looked pretty good. Her sell of it got a little bit weird, but that was a nice spot for her to see. She also had a comically bad breaking up of a pin on this about 3/4 of the way through the match. Meiko Satomura she strikes the shit out of people, man.
Sure does.
And I'll give Mandy Rose credit because she took a lot of those kicks today and she sold them pretty well. She did okay. This was a serviceable performance for her. And the ending was good for, if they were gonna go with this booking, the ending was pretty good because you see Meiko Satomura kind of come around the back to try and pin Blair Davenport, and Mandy looks smart in this instance and the way that she gets Meiko Satomura off of her and pins Blair Davenport herself. So I actually I didn't want this booking. Obviously I wanted Meiko to win, but my second choice would have been Blair Davenport. But I think if you are going to do it, this match wasn't the worst way of getting from A to C. Like what happened in B wasn't bad. So she looked serviceable enough. I also knew when she came out there in her red, white, and blue, there was no way in hell she was losing.
And they also did Meiko out with with the streamers.
Right.
Like
yes.
it was like
the presentation was great. Yeah.
Here are your almost literal flowers. We are giving you this thing beforehand. Now you can lose. RH says wanted Blair to win. Now Meiko versus Io and Asuka. I think Miko's going back to Japan. That's the thing. Todd Starr says, I'm no Mandy fan, but if Meiko isn't staying around the U.S., considering she still runs Sendai Girls in Japan, I would much rather Mandy win than Blair. I've been watching Blair for years. She is nowhere near as good people think she is or want her to be. Well, I don't know about that. I haven't seen enough of B. Priestley or Blair Davenport to judge her as a whole. I thought she was fine in this, but we all knew what she was there for, to take the pin. As I said, too many foregone conclusions. And if Meiko is staying around, well, then you got to get Sasha Banks back as fast as possible because that's her dream match. She said so many times before. That's the way to do it.
I think there might also be a smart play here, which is if you are booting up NXT Europe, having Meiko Satomura around to wrestle matches, but also be like a coach or agenting or whatever. Like she's in the later half of her career. Like if you wanted to transition her to a coaching or an agenting role, I think that could be a really, really smart play.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. 20 seconds left. I liked the finish.
The
finish was good because it protected Meiko as well as you possibly could. She won the match. She had the match won, and then Mandy went in with her running knee, the kiss from a rose, as they say. I just wish it didn't have to require Meiko to get on her hands and knees and crawl around behind Blair to get the whole thing started. And then we got a couple more things. Hold on. Roy says Kate is a trickery domain cleric. And Van Twinpled says that I am a lore bard.
I know none of what that means. Is it nice? I hope it's nice.
Do I slay dragons? Mandy says, Maggie says, Mandy, I have a boyfriend. Wait, where's your ring? It's not good. Here we go. Kayden and Katana was the second to last match versus Doudrop and Nikki. And Kayden and Katana win, but Doudrop and Nikki had their best match as a tag team straight up. And they only lost because Toxic Attraction decided to declare war on Nikki and Doudrop in a weird way. Nikki, number one, Nikki and Doudrop have a finish called the A.S.H drop. A.S.H, which makes sense because she's Nikki A.S.H, and then there's Doudrop. But I heard Vic
Ass
say ass drop, and I was like, that's a weird thing to name your finisher. And it doesn't matter what happened. It was just needlessly overbooked.
Yes.
Who are you protecting? Nikki, A.S.H, and Doudrop, who take losses on the regular on the main roster in 2 minutes? Who are we protecting by having? It was completely unnecessary and didn't need to have any of that happen. So here we go. If you have anything to say, you can say it. Hold on. Oh no, you can say it in 30 seconds.
Oh God. The only thing that I'll add from what you said is about the overbooking. I would have assumed that Toxic Attraction and Nikki, A.S.H, and Doudrop were going to have a main roster feud, like if that was somewhere they were going to take this, but I don't have faith that that's what they're going to do. I thought this match was a pretty decent match. I'm also confused. Was there a pre-show that I missed? Because I didn't see Nathan Fraser versus Axiom.
No, it's on me on Tuesday.
Oh, it's going to be on Tuesday. All right. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
That I wish that was on this. Nice.
I was looking forward to having that match too. 5 minutes left. All out. Here we go. Okay, so Bron Breakker versus Tyler Bate in 5 minutes. Great match. The very best match of Bron Breakker's career, I thought, because Tyler Bate is crazy good. He's crazy, crazy good and has been forever. And he's been like locked in a broom closet. The WWE equivalent of being locked in a broom closet is what NXT UK has been. And he's good. He's good enough to not be there. I don't know what his plans are, or if he says, I'd actually just rather stay in Europe. If NXT Europe is happening in the near future, I'll just stay over there and wait for that to happen. But if not, like, he should be in NXT full time, if not on the main roster full time. He's really, 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 really good. That sequence when there was he was trying for the Tiger driver, but Bron backdropped him he bridged out of it and directly into a Tiger driver power bomb. That was amazing. Like I absolutely love this match. Love Tyler Bate. Thought he was great. But Braun's the guy, and he's going to continue to be the guy for a while until they decide he's ready to be called up, or until they have a need for him. I think he's ready. I don't think they have a need for him, so why not keep him on NXT and have him enter that bread?
Yeah, I'm just going to call it a couple of quick super chats because I don't think I'm going to need as much time as you're giving. But Kim Gray saying, thanks for all your hard work this weekend. Well, thanks for giving a hoot, as Sean always says. Couldn't do this without you. It makes it a lot more fun that you're here. Matthew Plus asking where the 0 hour is going to be broadcast in the U.S. It's going to be on YouTube. I also just saw a tweet that CM Punk let Larry run around the ring, which warms my heart. But this match, I thought I agree with you, the best in Breakker's career, indisputably the best since Ziggler's reign. I thought this was fantastic. Tyler Bate looked like $1 million. This, I think because Tyler Bate has a little something to him, Bron Breakker felt a little more comfortable locking in his shit. I felt like this was, it wasn't like it was hard hitting, but I feel like there was less hesitation on Breakker's part. So that definitely made it great. And it was just creative offensively. Tyler Bate has some really, really creative offense. So I thought this was a whole bunch of fun. Tyler Bate's a tricky one because I feel like he could go anywhere. He could stick around NXT. He could go back to NXT Europe, or you could bring him up to the main roster and do some really cool shit with him and Pete Dunne and whoever. There's a lot of fun that you can have with that. So, but I thought this match was absolutely fantastic. I think part of the hesitation about calling up a Carmelo Hayes or a Bron Breakker right now is that just that timing gap in general. It's such a weird time for them until a Survivor Series build right now. I don't think it makes sense to call up people before the draft. That seems silly. You might as well call them up during the draft or thereafter. But I this match was fantastic. This was, I think this might have been match of the night, and I really thought it was Carmelo and Ricochet, which also was fantastic. Just stylistically, I think this did more for me, and there was a little bit more story, and a little more creativity in the in-ring storytelling. But this was a phenomenal match. I'm glad that they ended on this. I knew Bron Breakker was going to win, but of all the matches that were here that I was less sure about the booking, I was maybe there's a sliver of hope there, but it didn't happen. it was also nice to just let them fucking wrestle. Like, there was no overbooking in this. There were no disruptions. There were no weird, funky endings to anything. Like, it was just a really good wrestling match. And I'm glad that's the thing we at least went home on, was just a great pro wrestling match. Kate, where can I find you? You can find me at MissKatefabe on Twitter.
I have super chats to read.
Oh, okay. Read them. I'm done.
Says, you guys are the best. Thanks for the crazy hours of hard work. You should wear capes because heroes.
Well,
no one likes this show, says Matthew Plus. Guess what? Your mom likes this show. Feeling Dreepy says, I can't wait for Bron versus Bate 2. Hopefully not too soon, though. NCB says, hi, Kalex. Fall asleep during the show because I work nights. Woke up, saw Bron versus Bate. Very good. See you after AEW, which I'm not able to watch due to work. Hashtag SGS, fofo life. And Kevin says, short of the fun main event, you'd never guess Vince was gone with some of these finishes. I audibly laughed at that ref bump spot in a tag match. And all I have to say about Mandy Rose is, why? And Maggie says,
think that they were drunk with some of this booking, Alex.
You would think they were drunk.
But Sean doesn't have our ad queued up in our folder, so now I have to go find it.
You know what? Like, listen, I don't want to cast aspersions because he's already got me blocked on Twitter. But Shawn Michaels, I mean, seriously, you'd think he wouldn't be so drunk as to book these terrible finishes. But if you are in the habit of getting really drunk and you don't want to have to pay for it the next morning, I don't know what. Perhaps there's a service or a product that might be available for us to show on
to plug
on
you
television.
would hope, but I'm not seeing that specific product, which is kind of
weird. Is it on the Raw one or the SmackDown one? I'm not really sure where.
I don't know, but Sean's the one busting our time.
Sean would be. It's all her fault. Like, ha, you failed. Says defeat. You know, you did not defeat it. Sean defeated us because he had us do an ad read that is not.
It's not queued up. I don't see him in any of them.
That's really funny.
So instead, we're gonna run a Magic Spoon ad with no segue because we have to run something. I'm just double checking that there's not
do the blue.
Weren't we originally supposed to do Magic Spoon though, or no?
No, we're supposed to do Blue Chew.
Oh, in that case, here's some stuff about boners.
You know we care about that performance in wrestling, that main event performance. But maybe in the bedroom you don't have the confidence to perform. BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL will help get you there. It's got the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know it works. You know it's that good stuff. But it works on your schedule, or maybe when you're not even ready and you want to get there. You consult with the online physician. You don't have to wait in line at the pharmacy. You don't have to wait in line at the doctor's office. No awkward in-person meeting. And if approved, it ships straight to your door in a discreet package. But there will be nothing discreet about your package when you use BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL. But you know what? How about free? Get your first shipment free when you use the code FIGHTFUL. Just pay $5 shipping. BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL. Get that main event performance.
There you go, with the segue of the century. Here's some boner pills. Guys, thank you so much. You can follow me at MissKatefabe, but more importantly, you can find me, oh my God, Tyler Bate versus AJ Styles would be incredible. You can find us on Fightful Select. You can subscribe over there for just $5 a month. There's going to be so much breaking news coming out of there, including the Bray Wyatt news that got posted yesterday, which was so much fun. We will have your all-out post-show, me and the guy next to me over here on Fightful Select, so join us. I'm sure we're going to be talking till all hours of the morning about it.
Yeah. If you thought this show was too short, come to Fightful Select later tonight when we talk for 7 hours about an 8-hour show. Good night, everybody, and keep cool, gabagools. We love you.
Thank you.
Bye.